Now, if we see the three different materials, like if we take the wrought iron, then we'll see the length of these parts becomes that is maximum, and if we observe, if we if we uh, if we observe this fork, the fork becomes minimum, okay, minimum in number, and if I see this carrier lines, okay, these carrier lines are long in length as compared to wrought iron. If we observe mild steel, this fork becomes maximum in number in case of mild steel. So if we touch this mild steel rod with the grinding wheel, then we will get the spark which is having the length is maximum, and also the fork becomes more in case of mild steel. Now if we see carbon tool steel, then the length of this carbon tool steel is less as compared to this wrought iron and mild steel. The length becomes this much. Okay, this much only. This much portion is covered by using this carbon tool steel. Now, if we see the fork present is more in number, as well as the bursts are also present. Okay, the branches like structure, which is called as bursts. So, in case of carbon tool steel, this burst structure is present, that is maximum in number. This is about the carbon tool steel. Now, if we see the grey cast iron, grey cast iron shows very small length in case of this part test as compared to carbon tool steel, mild steel, and wrought iron. This cast irons, this length becomes very small, and if we see the forks are present here, maximum in number, and branches are both bursts are absent in case of grey cast iron. So this is about the grey cast iron. If we consider white cast iron as compared to grey cast iron, number of forks present are less, and the height is almost same like a grey cast iron in case of white cast iron also. And if we see, this is annealed malleable iron. The length is more than grey cast iron and white cast iron, but this length is less than wrought iron and mild steel. Okay, and forks are more than grey cast iron and white cast iron, but forks are that is sorry, this thickness. If we consider this thickness is also less as compared to wrought iron and mild steel. So this is about the different types of metals if we observe. Now we discuss the ferrous type of materials where the sparks are present. If we compare that ferrous type of material with non-ferrous type of materials, mostly in non-ferrous type of materials, sparks are not present. If we take the example, if we take the copper wire or copper rod or copper pipe, and if we touch that copper pipe with grinder, then it is very difficult to make the sparks, okay, or make the sparks happen. And so sparks are absent in case of copper, which is non-ferrous material. If we take the example of aluminium, if we take any aluminium sheet and if we touch that with the grinder, then it is also not able to show you sparks. Okay, so no spark condition is there. Similarly, in case of magnesium and brass also, the sparks are not present. Okay, so in this way we infer that in case of non-ferrous materials, spark test is mostly absent. Okay, and in case of ferrous materials, sparks are present. So when the sparks are not there, then you easily identify that that material may be non-ferrous type of material. And by looking that material, for example, if we take the example of copper, by looking that copper material, the reddish color, reddish and blackish color are present. The combination of this color is present in case of copper. If we see the example of brass, then we already know how that brass is, look like. Okay, so if we compare all these materials, then the sparks are not present. if we take the example of titanium, then in case of titanium material which is made with the help of forging operation, in case of forging operation if we made the material, then it gives us the flow lines. Okay, so this becomes the flow lines, and here flaws are not present. Okay, or bursts are not present, like these branches are not present. Okay, so this type of pattern you are seen in case of this titanium type of materials. So if the materials are made with forging, then it shows this flow line structures, and these flaws or bursts are not present in that case. So today we already discussed about three different topics. That is, if we consider the ferrous type of materials, then which type of or how that sparks gets look like in case of ferrous materials. And if we compare with non-ferrous material, then non-ferrous materials does not shows you that sparks. And if we consider the metals or materials which are made with forging operation, then that gives us some flow line like structure in case of that spark test. So in this way we are easily identify what type of material which are used there. Okay, or if we just touch the material with that grinding wheel, then there also we are able to easily identify the which material are present there. Okay, so we stop here. Thank you.